Alright, all set. And 3, 2, 1, action! This is Cinematic Motif. Hello, I'm Wanson, a film critic and a content creator, and welcome back to Cinematic Motif, where I take one Taiwanese film as a motif and I explore other works of similar topic in cinema around the world. Alright, so welcome to our show today. Today, we are not doing Movies Made Me again, but today we are having our usual theme curation of movie. Today, we are going to talk about movies related to singing and song. So, let's get started. Alright, so today, as always, I'm going to start with a Taiwanese film that you might like and you might know about. This film is called Listen Before You Sing, or 听见歌在唱. Now, this is actually a really popular film in Taiwan. It was released in 2021 and it's basically a Taiwanese comedy film. So it talks about at the tribal primary school, elementary school, for the Bunun indigenous people tribes in the mountains. The students, they have to win an award such as the choir competition in 3 months, or else the school will be closed forever. However, there are only a group of students with few musical instincts and also a PE teacher who cannot read the musical notes, and also a contract music teacher who doesn't see herself belongs to this school and this whole group. So basically really hostile environment for these children. However, despite all of these environment thing, they had a bad performance at the very first place, very disastrous. But then at the end of the film, they actually leverage themselves and then bring their Bunun indigenous talents of singing to a different level and gain confidence. So I think this is a really touching film. Actually, 听见歌才唱, listen before you sing. Now, this is talking about when you're singing, you should listen before you actually sing, right? So that you can sing in a correct way and sing, on the note. And then what's so interesting is that this is actually a real, true story that happened in Nantou in Taiwan. And that makes so this is actually really touching, because we have seen and we have read about the news about this student choir in the mountains of Bunun in Nantou before. And then secondly, actually it's also a reflection of Taiwanese traditional culture. We all know that Bunun people, they're really good at singing. They have something called like pentatonics or something like that. Oh no, it's not pentatonics. They have this sort of choir tradition that sounds so good. So I'm gonna leave you with the theme tune. Actually, it's not a theme tune, but a song from the original soundtrack of the movie, also from the actual choir, the real story choir of the movie. This track is called 知足, originally performed by Mayday Wu Yuetian, but this version is from the movie. Let's give it a listen, and we'll be right back on Cinematic Motif.
怎么去拥有一道彩虹？怎么去拥抱一夏天的风？天上的星星像地上的人，总是不能懂，不能觉得足够。如果我爱上你的笑容，要怎么收藏，要怎么拥有？如果你快乐不是为我，会不会放手，其实才是拥有？当一阵风吹了，飞上天空，为了你而祈祷，而祝福，而感动，终于你身影消失在人海尽头，才发现守着苦最痛。
That was 知足 from the movie Listen Before You Sing 听见歌在唱. Welcome back to Cinematic Motif. I'm Wanson. Today we're talking about movies related to singing. Now let's move on to our second movie today. This is a movie that you definitely know about. This movie is called Singing in the Rain or 万花嬉春in Mandarin Chinese. Now for this movie, I want to show you that in these movies about singing, vocal really matters. So basically, Singin' in the Rain is a really renowned 1952 American musical comedy film directed and choreographed by Gene Kelly. It offers a light-hearted depiction of the Hollywood in the late 1920s, where when the sort of movies goes from silent movie to the let's say the talkies movies, the movies that talks with movies with actual sounds. So for this part of history, you can go to the I've done an episode talking about film history, so go check that episode out on RTI's website, okay? So for this movie, I think it really talks about how voice matters, because it shows us that in this era, not this era, but back in the time when recordings it becomes a thing, vocal really matters. No matter you're a radio presenter, no matter you're a movie actor, or you're actually going to sing in the movie like these actors in Singin' in the Rain. So this is something that symbolizes the importance, the rising importance of vocal voice of us people. And secondly, I think this movie really showcased something really cool from Gene Kelly. We all know Gene Kelly is very famous. He was very famous because he could sing and dance at the same time in the movie, and really nicely and perfectly. You should definitely go watch this movie just simply to watch Gene Kelly's great performance and dancing. I think you're definitely gonna love it. He has a really famous scene of singing the song Singin' in the Rain in this movie. Go check that out. Now thirdly, I think this movie talks about the value of entertainment. In this movie, there is a song called Making Love and Make Them Laugh. So the lyrics of the song is talking about how these actors' responsibility as a performer is to make their audience laugh. So it's talking about something in the movie, but also at the same time, it's talking about something outside of the movie. That is the movie itself. So it's very, how do you call it? Very meta. It's basically a meta, like very meta sort of narrative. So you should definitely go watch this movie. It's called Singin' in the Rain or 万花嬉春. Now let's take a short break and we'll be right back on Cinematic Motif.
Listen! Are you listening? This is the sound of my country.
This is the sound of Taiwan.
Taiwan, a small island with a whole world of sounds.
Welcome back to Cinematic Motif. I'm Wanson. Today we're talking about movies related to singing. And here comes our third movie, that is Rocketman. So this track is called, it is actually a track. So you might have heard about this song from Elton John called Rocketman, right? And the biographical movie of Elton John is also called Rocketman. It was released in 2019. It's based on the live music and the career of our musician Elton John. So this movie basically focuses on the story of John's early days in England and when he was, educated in the Royal Academy of Music, and then he had this sort of partnership with Bernie Taupin, and these two guys, they created a lot of great songs and hits back in the time. And for this movie Rocketman, it is told through the whole life story of Elton John was told through the music of Elton John, and then this film stars as the Elton John is Taron Egerton. We love Taron Egerton. And also Jamie Bell as the Taupin. Taupin is the partner of the working partner of Elton John. So this movie is really, really important because I think it showcased the power of singing. It was the time when the sort of singer can become really, really popular like Elton John did. And I think it's also remarkable to take at the inner struggle of a big star, mega star like Elton John. And since he rose into fame really, really quickly, it is worth discovering his inner heart and his inner struggle because there are so much of them. And then there are apparently there is the elements of sex and sort of drugs. I mean, some celebrities do get into these things. So, I think what's so interesting is that how could Elton John allow this movie to get out? Elton John must be mentally really, really strong right now, I would say, because Elton John is actually still alive. And basically, he's kind of approved the movie to come out. He definitely approves it. So, I think it is really, really cool. And then secondly, what's so interesting about this movie, Rocketman, is that it is almost a fantasy. There are a lot of fantastic shots, like very imaginary world, and then in a very, very fantastic way. It's gonna be very different from the sort of very serious drama film. So you're gonna love this film so much. And I think ultimately, this film talks about as a singer, using the power of singing, you don't have to dress up. Elton used to dress up like a chicken or like something, like people who are really, really dramatic. But then, in this movie, he gradually finds out that he can just be himself. When he is in his own suit at home, in his pajamas, he's singing really, really naturally and beautifully. He does not have to dress up as someone else. And my favorite moments in this movie is the scene when Your Song, the song called Your Song, titled Your Song, was written. Basically, it talks about the friendship. We can see the friendship between Elton John and Taupin, in this Bernie Taupin in this scene, and maybe with a little sense of romance. So I'm gonna play you the song. This is Your Song by Elton John, so that you can go watch the movie and enjoy this moment. Oh, by the way, as a side note, in this movie, Elton John and Bernie, they met and had a great discussion in a cafe, in a restaurant. And I went to the filming location of that restaurant last year in London. It's called Regency Cafe. Go check that out. Now let's play the song and we'll be right back on Cinematic Motif.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof and kicked out the moss. Well, a few of the verses, well, they've got me quite cross, but the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do, you see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is the song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world.
This is Victoria.
From the London Underground
景美
to the Taipei Metro,
景美 Station.
the people of our world are going places. Are you listening?
Train clear for the Central and District.
Tune in to the sounds of your world on Radio Taiwan International.
That is Your Song by Elton John on Cinematic Motif. Today we're talking about movies related to singing. And our final movie today is Sing Street, or what is that? 摇滚青春练习曲. So, Sing Street, this is a 2016 musical and also a coming-of-age musical, actually, comedy drama from Ireland. The story revolves around a boy starting a band in the 1980s. So, actually, the story goes like this. In the 1985 Dublin, this 15-year-old boy, Connor, he just moved to the new school, and between the insane rules and the fascist teacher priests in the schools and also the bullies in the school, basically it's a daunting place to live in that sort of environment back in 1985. But he's trying to, impress a girl that he likes, so he starts a band. Very nice story, right? It sounds like a very cliche coming-of-age story, but in the end, I love this movie so much. So, first of all, it talks about how singing can be a really powerful tool to fight against the hostility. He can use the music to fight against this world, as I said, hostile environment, the teachers, the schools, the bullies. But he actually went to all of these through music. I think that's beautiful. That's the power of singing. And secondly, he's gaining the control of his life and is also his puberty through these music and songs in the movie. And for here, I need to say the original songs in the movies are just so good to be true. You should definitely go watch the movies and then listen to the original soundtrack. And thirdly, I think really worth watching thing about Sing Street is that this is the third time the director to collaborate with Adam Levine. Adam Levine is the lead singer of Maroon 5. And actually, these two people, they have collaborated before in the movie called Begin Again, or 曼哈顿练习曲. This is another movie film that I love so much about singer rising into fame. But anyway, we're gonna leave that there today. So please go watch Sing Street. And I have this final song for you today that is performed by Adam Levine. Adam Levine sang the final theme tune for the movie. It's called Go Now.
So here we are, we got another chance for life. It's what you want, I can see it in your eyes. You see so clear, it's coming into light. Go on, be wrong, 'cause tomorrow you'll be right. Don't sit around and talk it over, you're running out of time. Just face ahead, no going back now. Try so hard to figure out just what it's all about. You're fighting on and on and on for what you know is true. And I say go on and on and on, do all that you can do.
Alright, so that is all for our show today. So many things to, to say today. I'm so sorry if I'm speaking really fast. So as always, if you've got anything that you want to tell me, send your email to wanson@rti.org.tw. You can also follow me on my Instagram and YouTube. My handle is @wansonscfe. And this has been Cinematic Motif. I'm Wanson. Thank you for tuning in. I'm back next week. Bye bye.